Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, Better Than Starting Manned. So, with some excellent advice, we are getting set up for our next mission, and we are going to purchase one technology today. We're going to get this tech, because the biometric sensor array should get us enough science to get over the 5,000 mark, even if I don't go any further. But, as things currently stand, we are going to be going on a distance. Colonization. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Okay, so today we are designing a new lunar mission. It's time. We're going back. Long last. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull up our long obsolete lunar mission. What the heck did we call it this time around? Moonshot. It was Moonshot 1, wasn't it? Moonshot 1 Mark II, Moonshot 1 Mark III. I think it was the Mark III we actually used. Darned if I can remember. Because what I want to do is I want to see what the payload looked like. Oh, wow. It was a rather lightweight mission, wasn't it? Well, alright then. How much payload actually went to the moon? Because this is all the launching rig right here. We sent a whole total of 50 tons. Okay. Well, if I get somewhere, if I make my design somewhere between 50 and 100, I'll be pretty happy. Because we need to take along, well, a better design. We need a little bit more time to think while we're in orbit. Trying to remember if I've gotten... I never get some of the polar stuff, but can't really do that in... I mean, I could take this, but there's no reason to take the chance on it. So let's go with this one. It's going to be called Moonshot IV. Alright, and we're going to start off with what's going to be the center of our ship. It'll be a Mark I command pod. Sure, why not? I see no... Oh. Well, okay, never mind. It's going to be a cupola module because the cupola module is actually lighter. Has more life support. Or it uses... Okay, it has 100,000 life support versus... Yeah, there's no reason not to take a cupola module, other than the issue of, you know, landing it or bringing it back to Kerbal. Now let's see. As far as heat shields go, we got a 2.5 meter. Is that big enough? That seems a little small. Let's put. We're just going to put on the 3.7. Just play it safe, because I don't want this thing to be overshoot. I don't want it to overshoot. Okay, now it's going to need its own little RCS. Get angle snap on. We'll put 6 RCSs on there. Good. Okay, now then, the part I haven't figured out yet, but I think this is how we're going to do it. See, we have to bring... I wish I knew this for sure. Let's have a look at it. Biometric sensor array. Take detailed readings on the state of your crew as they travel out the cosmos. Okay. So hopefully it will function when it's not attached to the primary pod. Because I need to send this down to the... I need to send it down. Utility. We need utility. We need Clamp-O-Tron. There we are. And now we design the lander component. There we are. Now, if memory serves, we designed a smaller Moonlander Mark II. Nope. Let's see. Mini Moonlander? Nope, that's the unmanned. Alright. A new a new lander it is. And we're going to use the obvious tiny little one-man command pod. Mark 1 lander can. And to that Mark 1 lander can, we are going to attach our science experiment, the all-important biometric sensor array. There we go. Now then, we need... the antenna will be on the solar array, which is going to be attached to this piece. We're going to use a big decoupler for structural integrity. This thing we will disable its own electric charge and monopropellant to save some juice. Alright. Now let's see what got in the way of fuel tanks. We've got the tiny little donut. We've got the... I have a thought on a rather unconventional design. Since I'm not going to be launching this right away, I will look forward to your thoughts on this. This could be quite funny, actually. Which is part of the reason I'm designing it the way I am. Rather than having to try and figure out how to... Let's see if we put this right here. Alright, so we do need to turn this over. What if we were to land like that? Actually, what if we were to take... Hold on. Start again. Let's grab this. Attach it upside down like that instead. There we are. No, actually, no. We want to put it right side up because we're going to be coming down. There we go. Put it up nice and close to the top like that. Now, if we do that, all we're going to need is a... Put the biometric sensor array on top. Put a retractable ladder. Because ladders are utility. They're about the same length. There we are. Extend that ladder. Plenty long enough. Retract that. Retract that. Okay. Now then, we throw on a fuel tank. I guess we are going to have to put that down lower to avoid clipping. I think that's going to be okay. I'm sure it is. I guess I could use a smaller tank. I just don't know if that's going to be enough juice for this. Because we're going to use the small side engines here. Whoa. Those are bigger than... Oh, it's these ones. Put on 6 of those. Nah, we need to use the bigger tank, don't we? I guess we could just squeeze in something else just to... Ooh, battery. That's what we need. Put on a battery or 2 like so. And then we'll put on a bigger fuel tank. Okay, now the core portion of this thing is 9 tons, so this lander currently weighs 7 tons. A little weighty. I don't know if that's maybe a little excessive. But we'll put on a full set of 8 of these. We'll put on 2 sets of RCS thrusters. Alright, I guess we're putting on 8. Alright, so batteries, RCS control. want 6 of those. Slide those up just a little. Ooh, and now we only need 4 of these. Okay, now let's think. Batteries. Ooh, RCS fuel. That's what we're missing. Okay, well, let's just do a calculation on power here. Ignoring this, because we're not going to transmit that data while we're on the ground. Let's have a look at the lander. Uses 0. Electric charge, max 200. Come on. Where's the other... There's the 2-man can. There we are. Okay, electric charge, 14.85 per minute. So, and then Kerbal is going to be 30 per minute of a total of 7,200. So let's just do some math here. We need enough power for it to last the whole time. These are probably calculations I've run, but I just like to double check them. So 200. So we're going to need this to last. So 14.8. Sorry. 7,200 divided by 30. It's 240 minutes. Yeah, so 4 hours, 240 minutes. So if this thing is going to use it at a rate of 14.85 per minute, to have it last 240 minutes, we need 3,564. Well, we currently have 800, which is not adequate. In fact, much to my chagrin, one large battery is exactly what we need, isn't it? 3,200. Mostly it's to my chagrin because I was trying to not wind up with too many clipping errors on this ship. I suppose that's close enough to not being a clipping error. So that gives us a little buffer. 3,200. Actually, I don't even need that much of a buffer. Yeah. You know what? It's close enough. And then RCS, we have 4 sets. So total weight of this 9.2 is exactly 10 tons. I think that's a pretty adequate lander. And it docks directly with the cupola module, which will then be attached to a standard solar array. Oh, I didn't look at the second page, but okay. Solar science. Is that the array that's set up for science? It is. Actually, totally unnecessary. Also totally unnecessary. Although, when did we use this one? Was this used for... This was used for Minmus, wasn't it? Actually, that might work. Nah, let's use the same amount we used. Okay. Well. Alright, we use this one. And we'll just disable everything on here so as to not waste it. Now, the really important question is going to be, let's see, 10,000 life support. There's no way we're going to need a recycler on this. Ooh, chutes. This is going to be the piece that returns, so we need to put parachutes on it. That looks pretty good, eh? 6 parachutes covering up all the windows. No. one more tick, and then we'll move those RCS up. Now we'll move them down. Alright, let's do 8 of those. Come on. No angle snapping. Stop it. Alright, there we go. And now we do 4 of those. Perfect. Okay, that will work. Now we need a backlog of... We need enough power for this thing to recharge, because we're going to be doing some pretty serious data transmissions here. But fortunately, we can remove this and this and replace it with 2 more of these. There we go. That will help. Now then, each one of these is producing... Alright, so the cupola is going to use 6.6 per minute. The Mark 1 lander can is going to use 14.85 per minute. Wow, those are expensive. We're going to need a module on here too. So 6.6 plus 14.85, 21.45 per minute. Back of the envelope notes here. 21.45 per min is power consumption. Now we need to exceed that with our solar array if this thing's going to recharge. And of course the note that I don't have is how much does this produce? 54 per hour. 54 divided by 60 is 0.9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. 14.4. So 21.45 minus 14.4 is 7.05 divided by 0.9 is 6. So we need to add 2 more solar panels to this. Alright, well there's actually no reason to... We'll keep that. We'll get rid of the other ones. This is one of those places where those retractable solar panels would be really nice to have right now. So we need 2 more? Yeah, 2 more per ring. Zoom out a little. Come on. There we go. Now we don't technically need the extra batteries on here. Those were on there for balance purposes. And for obvious reasons, that's not necessary now. Oh, come on. Alright, well that should be close enough. Now, except for one little thing where we're actually going to want a control module on here. So how much do these do the Probodyne Octo weigh? It weighs 0.1. How much do those batteries weigh? The best part is we can turn that thing off. The little tiny 0.1. Okay, so this is equal to a probe core. Excellent. All right, let's get our RCS tank on here. So we're up to a 31-ton lift here. And we don't have the all-important... Where's that large reaction wheel? There it is. Good. All right, you a tanker there. Two. 3, and the last one will get modified to use a probe core instead. The Octo, a disabled Octo core, because it only needs to be turned on once we actually put the ship, once we're ready to leave. Perfect. Okay, so 40 tons to the moon. How much is it going to take to get 40 tons to the moon? Probably a fair bit. One would assume... And back. Moon and back. And what did I use last time? Well, let's see. Let's have a look. Let's look at the Moonshot 3, which I have reasonable certainty is the one that we went with last time. How much fuel did we use to move X mass? So it's 42 tons without the fuel. This one, on the other hand, is 50 tons with the fuel. Of that, 20 tons of this is fuel. So as far as mass to thrust to weight ratio, and we left the lander behind, so we're not going to have to, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to not bring the lander home. Nice as that would be. So approximately 2/5 of the ship is fuel. So by that logic, it's a 2 to 3 ratio. So there's 3, for every 3 tons of payload, there's 2 tons of fuel. All right, so 42.8, we'll divide it by 3, multiply it by 2, which means we need to bring a 30-ton approximate weight. 2/5, yeah, 2/5 of the mass was fuel. So we need at least 30 tons of fuel. Now, how much does this weigh? That's only 18 tons, so yes, so that is undersized. That's 36 tons, so one large orange should be adequate for our purposes. And then some, but why under? No reason to go under on that, right? I'm pretty sure that can land that. How much thrust do those silly little 20? 8 times 20. And we've worked with LV909s. Oh yeah, it's way, way plenty. So throw a poodle on here. We'll throw on one more batch of RCS. And that looks pretty much like a Moonshot 4. So it's an 80-ton launch, and our poorly designed, dysfunctional 90-ton lifter is what we would normally use, but we have determined that I neglected to make the changes necessary to make this into a 19-ton lifter. So, well, that's okay. The question is, should we just take some more batteries for the sake of security? I mean, there's no reason not to if I can actually make this thing. I'll take one more battery. I like to be safe. And then we need 4 of those to there. Good. That looks pretty stable, and then we need some nice anchoring to the to there. Put 4 of those up to this top part. Perfect. Okay. That's nice and steady. Now then, save that design. So a 90-ton lifter, eh? Going up. Alright, so we would put on, because of the size of this, a large decoupler. The most fuel-efficient probe core we have. Or energy efficient. Not that it matters a great deal, but we'll use the Octo. Always feels just a little odd to be putting something that small on, but... And then we'll grab the... Actually, you know what? We are just going to grab the 90-ton lifter that I know doesn't work. We know that this is inadequate. That's the important thing. So we can make some changes, starting with what kind of engine is that? So the engine is a keel haul. We're going to use the skipper instead. It's a little more efficient. And then we're going to switch out the main engines here for Rockomaxes. Now, what was it said? It was said we needed a bit more fuel to make this happen. So if I replace this and this... Oh yes, it was also... Let's just make the changes here. It was 4 of these. Here. Yeah, we'll... Let's put a third more fuel on, so we'll switch it to this tank here with a mainsail engine. Actually, we better just ditch that whole thing and rebuild it. That plus... that, because we don't want to overdo it. I mean, we don't want to waste money on this flight, right? So, 1 Rockomax engine. We'll throw 4 around the outside with good structural integrity. And then 1 more down here. And then we'll start adding the... Now those obviously aren't going to get ditched. They are going to all fly together. This next piece though is... And we're going to need some very good deluxe flight control, lift control. We'll find out if that's enough. Hopefully that'll be enough. Alright, we'll put that right there, and we're going to use 8 of the new big rockets here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are those appropriately spaced? They are not. Now they're appropriately spaced. Okay. With, again, some structure. Those there. 1 there. 1 there. Okay, and a little wobble protection for the whole ship here. That to there. That should do that. Okay. Now we need our launch stabilizers, which are going to attach to there, supported as close to the middle as possible. Okay. Those to stage 1, for whatever reason they are not on stage 1. Your stage 2, you guys should also be in, or sorry, stage 3. That should be there. That's this one right here, along with its engine. Parachutes separate from engines. Separate from decoupler. Okay. Staging polished up. Alright, so what's left then is the separatrons to make sure that these things don't go flying into the ship. Actually, let's put it on the side. There we go. And you're that one over there. And then a second one as far down as we can go. And a second one as far down as we can go. And that should be more than enough to send the whole thing rocketing away from the main ship. Those are going to trigger with the... Why would you do this, you silly game? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about it. Okay, so we got 300,000. This is an expensive ship for considering the fact that we don't actually have any plans or any plans on how to make money off this flight. Wait, hold on. 82 tons. I am having an idea. We might, well, let's discard. All right, so we're not going to be using this. If anybody who knows the math can tell me if this is actually a 90-ton lifter, that would be lovely. I'm going to throw it in there as 90-ton lifter Mark II. Save. Because what we're going to do, watch this. I think this is brilliant. We can have mass to spare. We can take more mass. We can have more mass. So why shouldn't we? Okay, that's the Ike. That's the Ike. Darn. Minmus. Wow, there are no moon. There are apparently no... We have 2 payloads to put in orbit around Ike at Duna. Wacky. I should test these, I should test these at some point just to get them out of my way. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, okay, that's Minmus. We've got Explore Drez, Explore Eve, and Explore Moho. Well, we're just gonna have to spend the money because we need this. We need this experiment. Okay, never mind. I guess we are gonna use that 90-ton lifter. I completely forgot that we had those useless, that useless hardware on us. Well, live and learn. So yeah, 90-ton lifter Mark II. All right, guys, this is our tentative Moonshot 4 mission, with some minor modifications that may be advised after this episode airs. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.